Our Region's Business is sponsored by PNC for the Achiever in You. Welcome to Our Region's Business with your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, Rick Seaback returns to downtown Pittsburgh about a quarter century after he first made the trip with a TV crew in tow. We'll find out what he found when he went back. Plus, the bottom line benefits of participating in a green workplace challenge. We'll see just how much energy, water, and money a couple of local employers have saved and how you can too. But first, Google celebrates its 10th anniversary in Pittsburgh. From an initial research lab on the Carnegie Mellon campus, Google now anchors a redeveloped Bakery Square, and it's expanding across Penn Avenue into Bakery Square 2.0. So what's made Pittsburgh a perfect match for Google? Well, Kamal Nigam is here to tell us. He's engineering director for Google Pittsburgh, and welcome. Good to have you here.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to be here.
Yeah, you've been with this from the very ground floor, from Google's first entry into Pittsburgh a decade ago. So there was, what, just two of you guys in the beginning?
That's right. Andrew Moore and myself, January of 2006, starting out for a couple months downtown, but then really finding our feet on CMU's campus in the Collaborative Innovation Center building.
Yeah, the Collaborative Innovation Center building is really designed where corporations can have a presence but be really close to all the brain power at CMU. Is that the idea?
That's right. Yeah, we really benefited from having a strong partnership and participation with CMU. They were really essential for getting us established and on our feet here in the Pittsburgh area.
Yeah, why did it make sense for Google to come here in the first place?
Well, Google is really a global company, and we really have looked to establish engineering centers where there has been really strong, critical mass of talent. Right? So if you look at the Pittsburgh area, there's really been a wealth of strong software engineering talent, especially coming from the universities, but also the ecosystem here that's grown really even over the last decade quite a bit stronger.
Sure, so they want to have a presence, be close to the talent and whatever else. And so what exactly does Google do here in Pittsburgh? Are you a certain part of Google? Do you do kind of everything Google does?
Yeah, we're primarily a software engineering center.
Okay.
So about 85-ish% maybe are software engineers and their related functions. And we work on a few key areas. So for example, my group works on Google Shopping. If you go to Google and look for something to buy, my team's interactive user experience helps people find excellent products to buy from stores that you trust.
Okay.
We have other groups working on ads quality, which is choosing the best text advertisement to show that will really help the user as they're typing in their query. And then we have other teams working on our core infrastructure and our cloud offerings.
Wow. So yeah, you talked about the ad offerings, you know, matching that ad to the right query. That's like the core of the Google business model you guys are working on, right?
We've really aspired to work on things that are really the bread and butter and right at the heart of what makes Google successful here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so you had your toehold at CMU, you were there on campus for 5 years, and then you made the move to Bakery Square, just a response to the expansion here in Pittsburgh over that period of time?
Yeah, for the first 5 years and continuing even today, right, we continue to hire strong, diverse set of software engineers. And you know, as we grow bigger and bigger, we need to have excellent collaborative physical spaces for our work.
Yeah, but that was a big leap, though. I think back 10 years to Bakery Square there on the border between East Liberty and Larimore, and that was very much in those days a neighborhood in transition, maybe just beginning its transition. So there was a real bet on the future of that neighborhood by Google to move into that building. Why did that make sense?
When we looked around at different spaces, we really looked for both a neighborhood and a building that felt like it was part of Pittsburgh, right? And also one where we thought we could do great work, right? And if you look at that area and that building, it's got such a great industrial history that it really, we even echoed that in the architecture and the design of the interior space.
Yeah, and you got to really work on the interior design, which I know when you opened the Bakery Square location, it turned a lot of heads in Pittsburgh. Very open, very creative sort of working environment. That was all by design.
All by design, absolutely. Yeah. We really think carefully about how to set up our software engineering teams for success, right? And a lot of that is even down in the details of how people sit and work together in teams, and then how people collaborate across team boundaries and creating those physical spaces to let people do that.
And that sort of dynamic interaction really critical to the way Google works? And
we think so, right? I mean, a lot of what we're doing is really innovative at the sort of front edge of computer science and building the great user experiences for the world, right? And a lot of that comes not just from one person sitting at their desk doing their job, but really the ideas and the collaboration and the innovation that comes when you get people together talking.
Yeah, you talked about the talent pool and the region's talent pool being attractive to Google to be here. Does that mean most of the people who work at Google Pittsburgh are coming out of Pittsburgh schools, or are they from all over the place?
We really do hiring all over the place, all over the world, right? For sure, we hire a healthy number of people out of local universities, but we also have a significant minority of people who are relocating to Pittsburgh for the very first time.
I wonder, has that recruitment, of course you're Google, you can probably recruit anybody you want, but I wonder, is it easier to get people to consider Pittsburgh today than maybe it was 10 years ago when you started on this journey?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I talk to people all the time about why they should consider relocating to Pittsburgh. And this story is very strong, right? Pittsburgh is a great livable city, awesome amenities, easy to get around. Cost of living is important for many people. But then also you look at the environment of the people around the city, and it's really a creative, collaborative, like let's get stuff done kind of town.
And you really see that. Is there that kind of fluid dynamic happening here, that almost culture of creativity and innovation these days?
There is. And I think when you look around the city, you see a really growing strength in the technology sector here in Pittsburgh. New startup companies, new companies in town. It's a great environment.
Yeah, it's interesting too. You talk about your roots in the Collaborative Innovation Center, and some other great global tech names have sort of followed in Google's footsteps at this point. I mean, we've seen Apple expanding in the community, even Facebook putting its toe in the water. Do you get a sense that the sort of word is getting out about Pittsburgh as a place where these types of companies need to have a presence?
I do feel like Pittsburgh has, on the national and global stage, has really taken steps forward over the last decade, 2 decades. Right? And for sure, the growing technology sector here in Pittsburgh is a point of strength for us, right? From my very selfish point of view, I like there to be an extremely strong tech ecosystem in Pittsburgh. It makes people feel very comfortable to relocate here from out of town, right? It makes people really want to stay and develop a strong career in Pittsburgh for decades.
Yeah, that's great. And as we mentioned, Google expanding across the street now into the new building across the street from the old Nabisco Bakery building. Again, just a response to this increasing activity and investment here by Google?
Yeah, we continue to hire, we continue to grow, we continue to do great work in our office, and so we need the space.
That's great. Is it going to look and feel a lot like the space across the street? You got to carry that across Penn Avenue as well?
There's definitely consistency across all of our different spaces, and even across our floors there's a lot of consistency, but we also aim to give each of our distinct spaces its own personal characteristics.
Yeah, well, it's exciting. It's been great to see. It certainly has helped transform not just the East End of Pittsburgh, but really the identity of Pittsburgh itself. So Google, congratulations, 10 years in Pittsburgh.
Good, thanks.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Looking forward to the next many more years.
Absolutely. And next up, we're going green to improve the bottom line of many businesses. We'll see how it can pay off when our region's business returns. Stay with us.